I consider myself a native of East Tennessee, Sevierville, Tennessee to be exact. In my mind, I have lived nowhere but Sevier County my entire life. But if I'm extremely technical about it, I have to say that I was born somewhere else. I was born in Fort Carson in Colorado Springs, Colorado. However, when I was only a few months old, my parents moved back to home, Sevierville. I have never been back to Colorado until this trip in May 2023 at the age of 52. When my mom and I started planning our big mother-daughter trip out west, we knew that Colorado Springs had to be a part of that. So we made sure to work out a couple of days. This part of our trip was all about me getting to go back to see where I was born with the person who gave birth to me. Pretty cool experience. Our journey in the state of Colorado would start at the western side as we came out of Utah. We had been to Capitol Reef National Park, and we made our way on over to Montrose, Colorado, where we would stay the night at a Super 8. It was an okay room, nothing spectacular. We really did not do any sightseeing in this town. Now, I did see a sign that said fairgrounds, so I had to drive by. Working for my county fair, I always love to at least drive by a fairgrounds, no matter where we're at. We also found a post office so I could mail some postcards to my little Betty Granger. Our big plans for the next morning was to get up and do some laundry. Now, there was a laundromat located just down the road from us. It wasn't anything fancy, and it really wasn't busy, only a couple people there. It was pretty old, and it was a little odd, having a little makeshift museum inside of it. There was a little gated off area that displayed old sewing machines and typewriters, but it was cool. The breakfast at our hotel was not very impressive, but there was a McDonald's located just down the road from the hotel and the laundromat. So we went through there, but it was the strangest thing. I mean, what's with that sign? Are there others like that? It only has one hump. Time to hit the road again. In Montrose, we had planned to pick up Highway 50 and head toward Colorado Springs. Our plan was to go across the Monarch Pass, 11,300 feet in elevation. But Mother Nature had different plans for us. Heavy snow had occurred that night, and it was still snowing that morning. So we decided to find a route on lower elevations. Now, I'm all about a good adventure, but driving the Rockies in heavy snow was not going to be one of those. Plus, we had seen all these signs that said you had to have chains and there were pull-offs. We don't even own chains, so lower elevations it would be. We would do the Poncha Pass at 9,000 feet instead, which we thought was a safer route. As you leave Montrose on Highway 50, you're going to pass through Cimarron and the Curconte National Recreation Area. This area is beautiful, and we had never heard of it. It looks like this could be a great place to explore, but we just did a drive-through here. But I did a little research when I got home. It was developed in 1965 on the Upper Gunnison River and is part of the Colorado River Storage Project. This specific area is the Blue Mesa Reservoir, which is Colorado's largest body of water. And that water was so pretty, but I bet it was cold. Heading east into Gunnison, Colorado is such a pretty drive. There's so much natural beauty along the road, and there's not much traffic. Once we got into the town of Gunnison, we needed a bathroom break, saw a McDonald's, and we figured this was a real quick, good stop, so we could get right back on the road again. East of Gunnison, we picked up Highway 114 towards Saguache. That drive was so pretty and such a surprise to me. I'm going to be honest, I had no idea Colorado was going to be so gorgeous. This drive was not crowded and it was slow paced, really easy to take your time and enjoy the views that were all around us. Once at Saguache, we picked up Highway 285 toward the Ponchas Pass and came into Ponchas Springs. This allowed us to pick back up on Highway 50, bypassing the Monarch Pass due to the weather. Saguache is where we started to really see some of the snow on the mountains ahead of us. It doesn't seem like it's a very big town, and there might be some unusual sights here. We had to pull over so I could take a picture of this, but we were also making sure that we were on the right route. Still on Highway 285 as you come into Moffett, Colorado, is where you will start seeing the Ponchas Pass. This is where we started to see snow along the road, but the roads were clear and safe in this area. I'm not going to lie, it had me a bit nervous seeing the mountains ahead of us. We kept watching cars as they would pass us coming from the other directions as they had come across, and we thought, if they could cross, we can too. I'm not even kidding. It had me a little bit iffy at this point. Well, we made it over without any problems. The roads really were in wonderful condition. Once on the other side of the pass, we picked Highway 50 back up after bypassing the Monarch Pass. This led us to Cotopaxi, Colorado. Oh my word, you guys, this place is gorgeous. It is for sure another place that I would not mind to have a little more time to explore. I found out it was named after the Cotopaxi volcano, which is one of the highest active volcanoes in the world, located in Ecuador. It was first settled in 1882, and Cotopaxi was a small train stop on the Denver-Rio Grande Western Railroad along the Arkansas River. Though there is a store serving on the main highway through the town, there really is no major businesses in Cotopaxi except for whitewater rafting that attracts thousands of people each year to come rafting down the Arkansas River. This was a beautiful picnic area as well. Highway 50 goes through Canyon City, Colorado as well. Now, we were just passing through, but I did turn around and go back to this spot. This is Royal Gorge Dinosaur Experience. Now, we didn't go in, but I have no doubt kids would absolutely love this place, especially if they're a big dinosaur fan. Y'all, there are animated dinosaurs just outside that you can see in the parking lot. A bit east of Canyon City, we picked up Highway 15, which would take us in the south side of Colorado Springs. This would make my first stop in Colorado Springs my birthplace, Fort Carson Army Hospital. I had no idea how big it was, nor did I know that it's right across from Cheyenne Mountain. There is a Cheyenne Mountain State Park, but most of us know that Cheyenne Mountain plays a key role in our national security. And my mom did tell me that my dad did get to go over there while he was stationed at Fort Carson. This is located right across from one of the entrances of Fort Carson. I did not feel like getting shot or even questioned while I was there, so I just did a quick stop. I hopped out and got a quick selfie at the entrance gate. Luckily, nobody came after us. But it was such a neat experience to get to go back to my birthplace after 52 years. And it was even more special to be able to do it with my mom. Our next stop would be where we lived 52 years ago. Can you believe my mom still remembers that address by heart? And the place is still there. Now, it looks a bit run down now, but the house is impressive. It used to have little apartments inside. My mom shared with me that at one time they lived downstairs for a bit, and then they lived upstairs for a bit too. She has very fond memories of living here and sitting on that porch. But she was 19 new baby, and so very homesick. This was a very special moment to get to share with my mom to come back here. Wish my dad could have been with us too, though I feel he was with us in spirit. We only had a few hours to spend here in Colorado Springs, and it was rainy, gloomy, and socked in. I'd so wanted to see Pikes Peak. I had heard so much about it, but it would not be on this trip. It rained the entire time we were there, and you couldn't even see a part of Pikes Peak, not even a peak. Now, we did drive around downtown a bit, and we found a McDonald's my mom remembers going to while there. She told me this story about how they needed money at one time, and they pawned her rings. They went to the McDonald's to have a meal right after that. Yeah, they were able to buy the rings back shortly after that, and we're not sure if this is the original building or not, but it is located where she remembered. This horse statue she recalled being a marker of where to turn for them to get home. She also recalled one day the horse's private parts were painted as they drove by. Now, this is not only an Army base town, but there's also an Air Force base, and it's a college town. So I am certain there's lots of shenanigans that go on in this town. Our final stop here would be Memorial Park and Prospect Lake. My parents spent some time here in this park while they lived out there. Now, it appears there's lots of recreational opportunities here. I do know that there are pictures of my mom holding me as a baby in this park. We even joked about trying to figure out a way to recreate that picture, but couldn't come up with a creative way to do that. So that didn't happen. But there's pictures here too at this lake in the summer with snow on top of Pikes Peak in the background from their time there in 1970. It was time to move on, and we were headed to Lyman, Colorado for the night. Now, we traveled Highway 24, and we passed this beautiful little church alongside the road in Matheson, Colorado. Of course, we had to stop for a few pictures. I am a sucker for old churches, and this one sure looked like it had some history. Now, the only thing I could find out about this church is it was built in 1906, and it is called St. Agnes Catholic Church. Now, to me, it looks like something right out of a Western movie, or maybe even a horror movie. The clouds were so heavy, and it was such a nasty-looking day, but it sure set the mood at this church. I don't recall seeing any signage or anything for it, but it was a gorgeous find along the way. Thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you'll follow me on all my other social media platforms: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Substack. Substack is the best place to get complete itineraries, travel tips, and all of our fun trips.